this is Andy Freeman from AOK Landscape Group LLC. We're here in Canal Winchester, Ohio to move this Japanese maple. This is an Acer palmatum bloodgood. It measures at 9.5-inch caliber, approximately 18 feet tall, probably about 16 feet wide. We're moving it today to this location from Canal Winchester, Ohio to Lancaster, Ohio. So there's site prep prior to digging this tree or transplanting this tree. So I'm taking these daylilies and pulling them off to the side and just getting the site ready so I have complete access into the actual tree itself. Now the biggest thing is to make sure that you have your proper tools for this tree location. And I'm going to kind of go through the tools here. Obviously you have our natural burlap rolls and burlap pieces. We have a big nylon tarp to tarp the tree when we put it on the trailer. 5-gallon buckets are always good. You never know what you need to put in those. I've got nursery nails, pinning nails that we use when we drum lace the tree. I've got 3-ply sisal, box of that. Got straps. Got more straps in the car. I've got my spray tank here with this Transfilm anti-transparent. I'm going to be spraying on the tree here shortly to reduce water loss. Obviously got my round point shovels, my rakes, my spades, my tree saw, loppers, and rakes and stuff like that, and spud bar. So these are some of the tools that you need to have a successful tree dig. So obviously for these tree digs you need the big equipment, and I love working with big equipment. So we have a 6,000-pound lift capacity telescopic or telehandler forklift that we'll be using on this job, as well as I had mentioned about air spading, and we'll go into that a little bit more, but here's a 185 CFM towable air compressor with 50 feet of hose that I'll be using to air spade the tree. So what I had mentioned before when I was talking about tools was the anti-transparent liquid that I'm going to spray on the leaves. This is a film that is put on the leaves. It doesn't harm the leaves, but it actually closes off the stomates, which are on the bottom of the leaf, from air exchange and water vapor. When a tree is transplanted, it loses a lot of water through its leaves. And what I want to do is prevent that as from transplant shock. So I'm going to just spray it on the leaves. Just cover the top of the leaves and the bottoms of the leaves. The whole tree, as far as I can get up into the tree. And this will help it. So what I've done is measured the diameter inches of the trunk and measured it at about 9.5 inches. And so the rule of thumb is for every inch of caliber of trunk, you do 10 inches of root ball. In this case, since it's early spring in April, I may be able to go down a little bit, and plus I'm air spading this tree. So from a transplant wide, it'll do a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this sharp spade and just kind of dig around the tree. So for the next part of this operation, I'm going to be using my air spade. We're going to get a close-up of it. I bought this air spade about 4 years ago, and I've used it for a lot of different projects: transplanting, root restoration, compaction. So this is my air spade. I'm getting it all set up. This is an awesome tool. It reduces the time to actually spade out a tree. It's safer too, because the air just goes around the roots themselves and pulverizes the soil around the tree. Less transplant shock, so you're not hurting the roots as much. There's less root loss. So I really like it. So I firmly believe in a living tree to bless this tree, that it will live and not die. I do this to all my trees, and I have had 100% success. So I bless this tree right now that it would live and not die. It would have very little root loss and very little water loss, and it would transplant well and transport well. In Jesus' name, thank you, Jesus. So this is after the first phase of air spading this tree. You can see the root distribution is pretty even all the way around the tree, excluding the left side of the tree, or my left side of the tree. Larger roots, fibrous roots, some anchoring roots. So this is the first phase of air spading, clearing out the dirt. You can see the dirt is really pulverized now by using the air spade. So what we're doing now is we're going through with these bypass loppers and cutting roots back, and I've also got a handy dandy tree saw here for the larger roots that I can't get with the loppers. And so we'll start cutting things back, and then I'll go ahead and air spade it again, get around, and get this tree pried out of the hole. Finished digging the hole, getting it leveled out, Getting ready to put the tree in its place. Pretty good soil profile, good organic matter, a little bit of clay. We'll add some peat moss and some compost into this. Be ready to go. Freeman here from AOK Landscape Group LLC. Just finished transplanting this Japanese bloodgood maple, and I'm getting ready to do a soil drench. I use Soil MD. I think highly upon this product. I've used it in many other transplants. It enhances rooting, and that's definitely what we need. This was a bare root tree. It reduces transplant shock, absolutely. Enhances water infiltration, and then also promotes soil microbe activity. So this helps a lot, and I highly recommend it when doing transplants any time of the year. So we're into the watering phase of this tree transplant. I use these tree graders. They hold about 20 gallons of water a piece, and then they have a slow just drip to the root system. And I use this plastic chain to kind of wrap it around the tree because they have a tendency to sag because it gets so heavy full of water. So this will be a total of about 60 gallons that it'll drip across the tree. The tree probably will settle a little bit. Hopefully it won't move because we compacted the soil pretty good around the root base. And so we'll monitor the weather and probably do this a couple times a week to get it established. And I've already done the soil drench with Soil MD, so we're well on our way. We just got to finish up with mulch here shortly, and then maybe some isolated pruning.